Alright guys, so it's time to get going on our rose window prints. Alright, so we're going to be using radial balance as well as shapes, kind of like you already practiced last week on your sketches. In order to do this, you need few things, so just pay attention as I go through them real quick. Alright, so you're going to need like a foam plate. You're going to need some markers. Any colors you can get are great. A ruler would be good, but if you don't have a ruler, then you can use like the edge, straight edge of a piece of paper, like a thick piece of paper, or like a book. Anything that just has a straight edge. Something to cut. Scissors. Piece of paper. Preferably the thicker the better, but it's okay if it's not. You just have copy paper. And then if you could somehow find something that is circular, that's a little bit smaller than the bottom of the paper. So I don't know if you guys can see that, or bottom of the plate. So as long as the circle isn't bigger than the bottom of the plate, and that'd be fine. Okay, if you have like a bowl at home that you can use to trace like this. I'm giving everyone in class this printout right here of this circle with the thick black through it, or thick black outline of a circle to use, okay? Because this is what we're going to use to make that flat circle from the foam, okay? And then at home, you're going to need something to wet your paper with when we get there to the part with the print. Like I have 2 wet cotton balls here. That's just something I found at home that is can easily retain water, and we can use to make our paper wet. But maybe a wet paper towel would work for you, or a sponge you have at home, anything like that. And then you can see that my print is glued on to some black construction paper, so hopefully you have that. If you don't, just glue whatever on, cut it out and glue to whatever you want, or we'll figure it out. And that's it of what you need. Let's get started. So I'm going to move some stuff out of my way so I make room to do what I need to do. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your foam plate and whatever circle thing you have to trace with. Like I said, it could be a bowl from the kitchen, or anything that's just like a hard, has a hard circular whatever, so that you can trace. So I'm going to do, oh, and you need a pencil. Sorry, almost forgot that one. But yeah, you pretty much need a pencil for anything that we do. So you're going to use your pencil. You put your plate or whatever it is, if it's a bowl, you literally just like turn it over, put it on top of the plate. But I'm going to do this. Okay, I can see the outline through there. And then I'm going to trace it using the pencil. I'm going to go real slow so I make sure I draw over that black line I can see through the foam. Honestly, I think the best way for you to draw that perfect circle is through using a bowl. And you're going to use the tip of your pencil, just push down into the foam. You'll see it starts to make kind of like an indent in the foam. It's okay if it isn't perfectly, coming through a little bit. It's okay. Just be careful. There we go. If it punctures through a little bit, that's okay, because we're going to be cutting it out. Okay? So we don't need the circle thing that we're using anymore. We'll set that aside. And now you can see, hopefully you can see that the circle that we can follow to cut out of the foam plate. So I'm going to use the scissors. And let's be responsible with our scissors and only use it to cut what we need. And we're going to cut out the circle. Okay, I'm going slow. Just go real slow to cut out that circle. There it is, you traced. It does not have to be the same size as the circle I'm doing. You just want it to be small enough to where you can cut out a good sized circle from the bottom of your plate, because you want the what you want is a flat circle out of foam. Okay, kind of squishy. All right. That's the easiest way I find to do it. If you can find a circle piece of foam, then you use that. Okay. So now we got a circular piece of foam and it's flat. It's okay if it's not a perfect circle. Mine's kind of lumpy, or not exactly perfect, but that's okay. It's really hard to make perfect circles. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our ruler and we're going to divide our circle into 4 pieces, into fourths. I'm going to measure my circle, see about how wide the diameter of it is. That means how far side to side it is. It's not, perfectly 5.5, but it's about 5.5 from the edge to here. Okay, so 5.5 divided by 2 is 3. Wait, no, it's not. 3.25. I believe so. My math isn't great. So here's 3.25 right there. Just use your best eye. What we're gonna do is we're going to just disregard what I just showed you. We're going to try our best to divide up our circle in half, going down. I think I need to flip it just a little bit. Looks a little off. Okay, going down to the middle, and then across through the middle. Okay, we're making 4-piece pizza, basically. See how that one is. That's pretty good. I'm gonna move it over a little bit. Okay, so just judge the best way you can with your eye. Try and make all these pieces pretty even, okay? All right, so believe it or not, we're gonna be cutting up the circle. You're probably like, what? Why? Well, you'll see. So I'm gonna pick one of my little fourths. I think I like this one. This one looks like neatest. So I'm gonna cut that fourth out. And now I have a piece of my pizza. I got a triangle piece of pizza. We don't need this part anymore, so we're gonna throw it out to the side. And now you have a little piece of triangle, little foam triangle. Okay, you might be really confused right now about what in the world is going on. What is this gonna do? You'll see. All right, so what we need to do with this little triangle is we need to draw a fourth of our radial balance designs of whatever you chose from your sketches already. If you haven't chose anything, well then you're just gonna play it by ear with your design. You're gonna take your pencil, okay? It's better if your pencil is a little dull and not too sharp, because when we start, we're gonna be drawing into the foam. We're gonna be drawing our shapes into the foam, or our lines into the foam. And we don't wanna push our pencil all the way through to that it pokes through the other side. We just want to push down enough. So say that my inner part right here, maybe I did 2 triangles. You're gonna push it down enough. Push it down enough to where you can definitely see it's indented. Push it too hard, like I said, so that it goes through the back, but just enough. Let's see. Yeah, you guys can see it. Okay. Zoom in. All right, and then I'm just gonna keep going with my design. You see my shapes, and when I feel them, I can feel the bumpiness of it from where I push my pencil down to the foam. Okay, now it's time for the markers. So you're gonna get all your markers. And now, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use black to do the background. So like the space that's outside of all the shapes. You get to choose whatever colors you want though, whatever you want to color with, okay? So, I'm basically staying in between the lines. Okay, so now we have all the shapes that we're going to fill in. I'm going to make sure to try and make those like patterns. So start to fill in my shapes. Doesn't matter how, you get to choose. Try and stay within that shape as much as possible with your color. It's gonna look weird, it's not gonna look super, really thick, but that's okay. It's because it's wet on the foam. That's what we want, is it to be wet. Okay, so now that you've colored in the whole triangle, the background and all the shapes, and make sure you be careful when you're holding it. So when you're coloring, just try and hold it like this instead of putting your fingers on it, because when you do, you'll get marker on your fingers. So just try and hold it like this as much as you can. If you notice that you do that, just try and go back in and fill that color. Now we're gonna push it aside, make sure we try not to touch it. We're going to get our paper. And now we're going to get our item that it has retained water, like my cotton ball with water in it. And I'm just going to wet my paper. Okay, you're going to want to make it nice and damp. Okay, not too much because we don't want the paper to rip, but just enough. Now, you're going to take your triangle. Our triangle is our printing block. Okay, you're going to flip the side with the markers on it towards the paper. Doesn't matter where you start. This circle, really doesn't matter. I'm just going to start it here to where I'm facing the point of the center this way. I'm going to lay it down into the paper. I'm going to make sure that I don't move it around. Okay, I want to stay in one spot. Now I'm just going to start to rub with my finger. Okay, well, I'm holding down with my other hand to keep it still. I'm using the other hand to rub it into the wet paper. Okay, and that should be pretty good. Okay, try and get all of it pretty well. And time for the reveal. Gently lift it up. Wow, look at that. Look at that. How cool. I'll try and fix, for some reason my light doesn't really seem like it's shining on it too well. We'll zoom out. There we go. All right, look how nice that looks. So all the marker that was on here transferred to the wet paper. Okay, our paper's still pretty damp, so we probably don't need to put more water on it. But now you're just gonna repeat the process. So you're gonna have to let's make sure we put our paper that we did the print with. It's print because we're transferring. Okay, and we can remake this image now a lot like you would in a regular printer. Let's set this aside so that we don't accidentally get anything on it. All right. Now you're just going to repeat all the colors that you did again. You want them to be the same colors. Alrighty, boys and girls. So, we repeated all of our colors on our triangle. Get our paper again. Let's feel it. I think it's still pretty wet. Might re-wet a bit of it here. Alright, now we're just going to pick a side to line up with it, either here or here. I think I'm going to do it here. Try and get it nice and lined up. Doesn't have to be perfect. Remember, make sure it doesn't move. And then you hold with one hand while you rub with the other. Push it down into that paper. Love it every single time. I don't think I get bored with it. All right, we're getting there. We're getting to the circle. Okay. Repeat. Okay, so we're going to take our piece of paper. I'm going to use black. And I think you can just glue it right in the middle, like that. Okay. With this one, I made my piece of paper into a square. It's up to you. And then you're just going to glue it down and then get like white crayon or white pencil or just a pencil, and you're going to, sign your name. So Miss, Miss, yep, Miss Leffler. Oh, I'm running out. There we go. Miss Leffler. And those are our rose window prints. They are so pretty. Alright. We're gonna do more next week, so don't lose your little triangle, okay? Don't lose it. Alright guys.